Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe has to share with us, especially in regards to discernment, choice, our free will, having an open mind and an open heart, but knowing which path to follow, staying true to ourselves and staying aligned. So let's take a look at the cards and see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, so we have meditate and contemplate, new moon and Pisces. Yeah, that's the thing. With modern society, there are so many distractions, there's so much noise, there's so many things pulling at your attention, trying to demand that you take care of it right here and now, that it's so important. And that's not to say that there aren't things that are important. That doesn't mean we should just, ignore it all, tune it all out, and anything like that. But with all of the turbulence and chaos and the noise of modern society, it can get tricky to be able to discern what truly matters right now, what truly needs our attention right now, where we truly need to focus, and what can wait. Because a lot of times we are taught and conditioned to put our own wants and needs on the back burner to take care of, what everybody else wants, to meet their expectations, to get their approval, to be, a good girl or a good boy. And if we're not doing what they want, then we're bad. And that's not to say that they don't have a point with some of the things, because, people like our parents, generally speaking, they want us to develop into good people. Granted, there's exceptions to every rules. Some people are a very hot mess, and that can be a tricky bomb to some people. But if we can take time to quiet our mind, to calm down, to remember to breathe, to just reconnect with ourselves. And this could be doing full-blown meditations. It could be, just taking time to get out into nature and just still your mind. It could be journaling. It could be, just free writing, like just taking time to reconnect with yourself, to check in with yourself, to see how you're doing, to see where you're at. Because so often we don't even notice when we're pushing ourselves too hard. We'll start, we've been trained and conditioned to ignore the warning signs of our body, to ignore the warning signs of our emotions getting riled up. And then there'll be times where it gets to the point of no return, and then there are explosions. And so if we can check in with ourselves more, if we can take time to pause, to breathe, to process, to check in, to reflect, to, be mindful, it's going to be a whole lot easier to use our discernment, to make our choices intentionally, purposefully, wisely. But if we're always, running around with like a chicken with its head cut off, how often are we going to be making the highest and best choice for ourselves? We're going to be spread too thin. We're having too many things pulling at our attention and our energy, and we can't handle it all. We are capable. We are able to do so much. We have strengths, we have gifts, we have abilities, insight, all of that, but we're still human. We can't do it all on our own. So there are going to be times where you need to delegate. There are going to be times where you need to be like, that can wait for later. And, that could upset certain people in your life because it's really, really important to them. But if you are on empty and you have nothing left to give and you need to take care of yourself, as much as other people want you to show up, and it may not be super serious for them in the terms of their well-being, it's just what they want and they're allowed to want what they want, but you also need to take care of yourself. So take some time to reconnect with you, to pause, to breathe, to process, to meditate, just to get in alignment. Because if you can calm your mind, if you can quiet it, you're going to be able to listen and hear the universe when it speaks, when it gives you signs, when it gives you messages. You're going to notice those intuitive nudgings easier. And that's the thing. The universe tends to be subtle. It tends to be gentle. It tends to be quiet. It loves you. It wants the best for you. It's supporting you and protecting you, but it's not going to be screaming in your face. Like, there are times when, it's lessons and whatnot will get more and more obvious because, like, okay, you didn't get it, let me try again. Okay, you didn't get it, let me try again. But overall, it tends to be quiet. So we got to quiet down so we're able to hear it. And, when we can foster that inner peace, that inner calm, that inner sense of stability, if we can have that be our mode of operation, our foundation, it's going to be a whole lot easier to navigate life and all of the chaos and all of the storms, because as within, so without, as above, so below, if you're internally going to have that sense of peace, if you're fostering it, if you're creating it, if you're nurturing it, then you are going to be able to navigate life a lot easier. Doesn't mean you won't still have your human emotions. Don't get me wrong on that, but overall, you'll be able to remember to breathe, to process, to pause before jumping in with a reaction. Because if you can remember to pause, to breathe, you can choose to more intentionally respond instead of blindly reacting. But it's going to be harder to do that if you're not, nurturing that skill, practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation, practicing quiet your mind and reconnecting and recentering. So that's a good first step. Not everybody wants to do it though. They think that it takes up too much time. It's like sometimes you don't even need to spend that long on it. It could just be like, I don't know, a minute check-in or a 5-minute check-in, like whatever time you have. If you have a lunch break, just like take a section of that to help check in with yourself and see how you're doing. Believe in the impossible, Blue Moon. That's the thing. Our beliefs create our reality. I'm trying to remember. Let's see, what was it? I forget the exact quote, but it's like, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. If you're convinced that you're not going to be able to do it, that it's impossible, then yeah, you're right. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're not going to put in the effort to try because you've already convinced yourself it's impossible. It's not going to work out, so you quit before you even try. Versus if you believe it's possible, you are going to keep picking yourself up. You're going to keep trying. You're going to try new ways. You're going to ask other people to get their insight and feedback. You're going to just go different avenues. You're going to keep picking yourself up, and eventually it's going to work out. It's sort of like when we're learning to walk. Like, I don't think any of us remember when we were that little and first learning how to walk, but I have been watching, my best friend's kids. One is 7 and one is 6 months old. And so she's like, the 6-month-old is learning to crawl basically right now. But I remember when her older daughter was learning how to walk, and it's like, you fall down a lot. You fall down a lot because you haven't developed the skills. Haven't developed the muscles in the same way. You haven't figured out, okay, I need to do footing this way. And if I do it like this, and I need to like help balance myself at first because my feet are unsteady. I'm not used to walking. But if you give up, you'll never learn how to walk. So that's the thing. Like, we gotta try to get back into that mindset when we're kids. It's just like, I'm pretty sure with the children learning to walk, it's like we want to be able to be independent. We want to be able to do things on our own. And it's just like all these big people around me just walking wherever they want, being able to grab things. I want to do that too. And so, they believe it's possible, and so they do it. But then some people would argue that they believe it's possible because they see the proof and all the other people walking around them. But you can be your own proof. You can be the evidence for someone else and be like, look, no, it is possible. You can make it happen. So believe in the impossible. You don't need to sell yourself short. Like, you have so much going for you. Yeah. The universe wants you to know luck is on your side. New Moon in Sagittarius. You're lucky. You have good fortune on your side. The universe is using anything and everything to your benefit. It's conspiring in your favor. It's not conspiring against you. It's not. It's working it all in your favor. If something, quote unquote, seems like bad luck, the universe is going to somehow work its magic, work miracles, and have it be to your benefit. Short term, may be unfortunate, may be unpleasant, may suck, because I've been rejected plenty of times for jobs, friendships, relationships, whatever it is. And it can be really hurtful. It can really suck and you don't like it. But better things are on the horizon. And let's say you were really wanting this job or this friendship or this relationship, but if it wasn't for your highest good and you were still in it, you could be missing out on the opportunity for something even better. And that's how the universe will use anything and everything to your benefit. If it needs to make space for you, it will make space for you. So you can have the better things, so it can align to your highest purpose. Now, as the human self, with our egos and our human emotions and our limited perspectives, it doesn't feel like that. It can be quite, like, why are you doing this to me, universe? I thought you loved me. And it's like, no, it does. You just, don't have the full picture. Doesn't mean, as the human navigating the experiences, it's necessarily easy, but know that luck is on your side. It is working literally everything to your favor. It wants to bless you. It wants to work magic and miracles for you. But you have to believe in the impossible. You have to believe that you can have it, that it can be yours. Because that's half the battle. Belief is half the battle, because if you don't believe it's possible, you're not even going to try. You won't notice all the doors of opportunity the universe is lining up for you. You won't notice the blessings right under your nose. The universe is like, hey, it's right here. And you won't be looking for it, because the mind, it loves confirmation bias. Let's be real. It loves confirmation bias. It wants to be proven right. And so it'll look for all the evidence, all the proof supporting that belief in the fact that you're right. So if you believe it's impossible, then it's not going to work. Because, your brain's going to be like, look, see, this person and this person, all these people, it didn't work out for them. See, I was right. The luck is on your side. It's going to work its magic. It's going to work its miracles. But you got to get in alignment with it. You got to use your discernment on whether or not something is truly worth your time, energy, and attention. You got to use your free will, because the universe is not going to take that away from you. You have the power of choice. You get to co-create your life with the universe. You are the author of your story. It's going to work with whatever narrative you have. But you are the one in charge. You're the one at the helm. You're the captain steering your ship. The universe is, blessing you with great winds with your sails, but you can still try to, turn your boat around and go into the winds. I don't recommend doing that, but you have the free choice to do it. You could be going upstream and making it harder on yourself, but luck is on your side. So know that you don't have to do that. Yeah. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon. This feels like you're a kind of like a trendsetter in a way. Like, you are the one breaking generational cycles and patterns. Like, you are stepping out. You're the black sheep of your family. You are doing things differently. And you're going to be the one that first makes it happen. And everyone around you, could be like poo-pooing on it and being a hater and a naysayer and be like, don't you see? Like, this never works out for anyone. It's like, okay, that's your reality. That's your truth. I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to limitation and lack. I don't subscribe to all this fear and doubt and insecurity. Yes, if it comes up, I will process it. I will feel it. I will give it space. But I'm not going to let those things dictate my life. I'm not going to subscribe to that. I'm not going to subscribe to those narratives. I'm the one who gets to choose. I don't align with that. You can choose what you want. You get to go down the path you want, but I am the one choosing my path. I'm going to work with the universe to make my dreams come true. Luck is on my side. I believe in the impossible. I am connecting with myself. I am getting in alignment and discerning what is right for me. What is right for you isn't necessarily right for me. And that's okay. But I'm going to walk my path. I'm going to stay true to me. I'm going to be authentic. I am going to get clear on what it is I want and need. And I am going to work with the universe. I'm going to open up. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to trust the universe. And I'm going to allow myself to receive the universe's guidance, the universe's blessings, the universe's signs and messages. I'm going to clear my mind of the noise so I can listen, so I can get that aligned, inspired action and make it easier on myself rather than fighting against the universe. And, all the people will be like, no, and they'll be like fearful and be like, don't do that. Because, so many people in today's society, like, no, that's not how life is. It doesn't work that way. And it's like, okay, but I'm not going to believe the fear because fear is false evidence appearing real. I don't subscribe to that. If I feel fear, I'm not going to, berate myself for it and beat myself up and shame myself. Be like, okay, we're in this right now. Okay. I will process it instead of sweeping it under the rug like so many people do. Like, I swear, my family, they either let this stuff fester or they sweep it under the rug and act like it's not there. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But you get to choose your path. You are the captain of your ship. You are the author of your story. So you can be bold. You can be brave. You can remember and confidently embrace that you are worthy and deserving of good things and that luck is on your side so you can make the impossible possible, because the word impossible literally says I'm possible. And you're going to subscribe to that more than any of the, negative narratives of the people around you. You are making the move. You are choosing for yourself. And it's like, it can be tricky, but yeah, you've got time. You've got time. You don't need to rush. It's all going to work out for you. And if you can quiet your mind, if you can trust, if you can open up to it, the universe is going to reveal it to you. And odds are it's only going to reveal things to you, a step or two at a time. Because if the universe revealed the whole grand thing to us all at once, we may get overwhelmed and want to give up. We'd be like, that's too hard. But if we can, do things step by step, it seems a lot easier because it's gradual. We don't have to be like, think about first day of school, first day you're ever going to school, and they would imagine if they showed you stuff going on in college, it's like, one day you're going to do this, and it's going to be like, that doesn't seem like it's possible. Oh my gosh, like, I don't want to go to school. This is hard. And it's like, but if you do it step by step, gradually working your way up to it, it's not as hard. It can still be tricky. It can still be challenging, but it feels a lot more manageable and doable, Ever wonder what would make life's fleeting pain and sorrow totally and unquestionably worth it? How about living forever wildly in love and loved wildly? You have so much to look forward to. That's the thing. You have so much to look forward to. Luck is on your side. You're going to be able to live the life you dream of. But so often we get so caught up and it's like, it's so far away, like I shouldn't even try. And it's like, no, just take steps towards it. And slowly but surely, you will make progress. It reminds me of Fruits Basket. I think it was season 2 of the reboot, episode 2. Something about, like, let's have someone with our friends or something like that. I think that's what the episode's called. But Shigure does this little metaphor analogy about, imagine you are walking out and there's just piles and mountains of laundry everywhere, and you have to do it all by hand, and you're just looking around, it's like, oh, I'll never be able to do it. But the best thing to do is start working with the things right in front of you. If you start trying to do all this stuff and get too caught up in the other things, like, and you're not looking at what's in front of your feet, you'll trip yourself up. But if you work starting out what's right in front of you and going piece by piece, slowly but surely you're going to make progress, and then all the laundry is going to be done. So know that you have time. You don't have to get so caught up and tripped up by all the things around you. Focus on what's right in front of you, what needs to be done right now. what's most important to spend your time, energy, and attention on. Let's see. We have, be true to yourself, because you're the only you that's out there. There can be, people you share similarities with, but no one is exactly like you. And the universe doesn't want a bunch of copies. It doesn't want a bunch of clones. It doesn't want a bunch of duplicates. It made you exactly the way you need to be. And you'll have flaws and, challenges and areas for growth because you're human, just like everybody else. But it's the fact that you're human that other people can connect with you. It's you, having those trials and tribulations, those struggles and hurdles that you overcome. It's by sharing your story that people can relate and be inspired by you. So don't think that just because you have flaws, just because you have challenges and areas of weakness and areas for growth means that you're not good, that you don't have anything to offer, because you do. You have so much to offer. You may not ever understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in yours. Yeah. Don't get so caught up in the external. Yes, the external can impact us because, if you're around a bunch of people like my family who just like going off the deep end with their negativity and their explosions, like it can be a lot to deal with. But you don't have control over that. What you do have control over is how you choose to show up, the narratives you choose to tell yourself, that what you choose to associate with, who, what, when, where, the people, places, and things, who and what and where and when and how gets your time, energy, and attention. That is up to you. You have free will over that. You have control over that. So be true to yourself and use your discernment on what it is you want to do. What is it that you need to do? Don't get so caught up in the shoulds, because society has all sorts of shoulds that we supposedly need to do, but that may not be true. They may be trying to get us to fit into boxes that we don't belong in. So be true to yourself, because that's what's most important. Yeah. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So often we end up making things more complicated than they need to be. Our brain can try to rationalize and explain things and justify and be like, no, we need to do it this way because this, that, and the other. It's like, but if we can just simplify it, get down to basics, I remember once someone was making things so complicated and be giving all these reasons about why they thought someone wouldn't want to do something with us. And they're like, and I can't ask because I feel like they'll get mad at me, this, that, and the other. And they're going on this whole long rant. And you should ask. And I'm like, I literally just go to this person. And I was like, hey, are you interested in this? Didn't have a whole long spiel. Didn't have it all these justifications and explanations. Just got straight to the point. It's like, would you be interested in this? And then she was like, yeah, that sounds like so much fun. And, the other person was convinced that this person wouldn't want to do it. But by keeping it simple, I was open to the possibilities, because I was fine if they didn't want to do it. I was fine if they did want to do it. It's you can join us if you want. If not, that's cool. You do you. But we don't need to make things so complicated. We don't need to come up with all these complex stories and just make things so muddled and complicated unnecessarily. Just keep it simple. What is it that you want to do? What it makes you happy? What lights you up inside? What makes your heart sing? How do your true colors shine brightest? Get in alignment with that. We don't need to make things so complicated. Old souls use words very sparingly, except of course for I love, thank you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now. P.S. Which sounds better? Wow, now I love... Which sounds much better than wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. But yeah, why make things so complicated? Why assume things for other people? Why assume things for yourself? Why not just try? Why not just ask? Why not just do? Instead of, making all these complex plans and justifications and excuses and explanations, why not just try it? Why not see what happens? Why not just simply do? Why not be a human being instead of a human doer, like having like, oh, I need to do this to do thing and this to do thing and run around with the chicken head cut off. Why don't you just be? Why don't you listen to what your body is telling you, what your intuition is telling you, what your heart and soul are telling you? Why don't you listen to the energy and what feels right? This is going to make things a whole lot easier if you collaborate and co-create with the universe and try to force everything on your own and control it all. Because again, there is so much outside of our control. But if we keep things simple, we focus on ourselves, if we get in alignment with ourselves, we reconnect with ourselves, with the truth, with the reality, it's going to go so much better for us, Yeah, and keeping it simple, reconnecting with ourselves, trusting that we have time and that we can be ourselves is going to be so soothing. We don't have to work so hard. We don't have to try to force ourselves to be something we're not. We don't have to try to fit in all these boxes and check up all these check mark boxes and be like, I got to do this and the other, try to seek out the approval and the validation, be like, I got to jump through these hoops. Otherwise, I'm not worthy. It's like, no, you're worthy as you are now. Keep it simple. You don't need to make things so complicated. You don't need to, keep up with everybody else and try to get the newest and greatest, latest thing. If it doesn't call to you, if it doesn't resonate, if it's not going to bring you joy, you can pass. You don't have to go for it. You don't have to chase it. Why don't you start listening to yourself and doing what makes you feel alive and happy and peaceful instead of doing what everyone else thinks you should, Yeah, frog purging. We are purging the old. We are purging what does not serve us. We are using our discernment for our benefit. We are discerning what resonates with us, what's in alignment with our highest purpose, our true calling, what makes us happy, what brings us joy, what brings us like fun and happiness and laughter and love and support. We're getting in alignment with that. We're not, surrounding ourselves with these people that just drag us down, that drain our energy. We're done with that. We're starting to get clear on what it is that we want and recognizing we don't have to stay in all these jobs that we hate or all these relationships, whether it be friendships, familial, romantic, business, whatever. Like, we don't have to stay in it. We don't have to chain ourselves. We have free will. We get to choose. And, there's going to be consequences for everything. But remember that consequences aren't inherently bad. So often we'll be like, oh, you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Like, they can be positive consequences too. Like, if you quit your job that you hate, yeah, there's the consequence of, okay, I don't have income coming from that job anymore. But there's also the consequence of freedom, of being in alignment, of letting yourself live according to your true will, to your true calling, to your true colors. But, we also have to have that balance because we are in the 3D. We do have our body's physical needs. We need to have food. We need to have shelter, that kind of thing. So again, use your discernment. But yeah, Badger befriending self, we're befriending ourselves again. We are reconnecting ourselves. We are showing ourselves love and care and tenderness and respect. We are showing up for ourselves in ways that no one else has ever showed up for us. We are tending to our inner child because so many of us have neglected, abused, mistreated, forgotten inner childs. And it's because, whether intentional or not, I can't speak to what's going on in our parents' heads and all that, but a lot of them haven't been very kind to our child selves. And, part of that's because they didn't, take the time to reconnect with themselves, to clear the mental chatter, to quiet the mind, to, emotionally regulate in a healthy way. And so we're showing up for ourselves now. We are nurturing ourselves. We are showing up for ourselves. We are giving ourselves space to be, to process our feelings, that we're safe, that it's okay to be human and feel. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be honest. It's okay to have our preferences and not want to do things. It's okay. We can show up for ourselves now. We can befriend ourselves and be our greatest ally. It's just, yeah. Goat resilience. We have the resilience. A lot of people may have thought we were weak, because I know with me personally, so many people mistreated me, neglected me, used me like a tool, thought I was a doormat because I was kind, because I'm gentle, because I'm peaceful, because I'm not looking for conflict. I'm looking for peaceful resolutions. I'm looking to communicate. I'm looking to give people grace and to give them space and to give them chances, because I know they're humans and humans are imperfect. They make mistakes. But they look at that kind of gentle, nurturing nature and they think that it's weakness. But honestly, it's those people that are the most resilient, that are the strongest, because they're choosing to be kind and loving and caring and respectful and just live a life of integrity and accountability when the world around them chooses not to. When the world around them chooses to be cruel and petty and manipulative and gaslight and belittle and invalidate, all of that. When the world around them chooses to use other people as tools and stepping stones, to use them, as a means to an end, to use what is said to them against the people that said it, and just know that you have such great strength and you're going to go so far. And the universe wants you to believe in the impossible and know that you're going to go the distance. But the fact that this is a goat makes me think about what my dad was saying earlier. He was going on about, I'm guessing it was when he was a kid, Sesame Street, and he was talking about a goat that got mad. And so, I don't remember all the things he was doing, but, people were being mean to the goat and, letting the goat down and all these things. And it was oh, do you think the goat is kind and happy and, all these things? No, the goat gets mad, it gets mad, it gets mad. And it's this is the universe saying that you're allowed to have your emotions and you're allowed to be angry. That doesn't mean, you lash out in your anger and you retaliate, but you can communicate that you're angry. You can let people know that it's no, healthy boundary. What you just did was not okay. And sometimes that means that you walk away, you give space, you create distance. And sometimes that means you walk away for good and you cut ties. But you're resilient. No matter what happens in life, you're going to be okay. You're going to go the distance. You have luck on your side. You're going to be able to do the impossible. And you're going to shine so beautifully as yourself. You're going to shine so beautifully. Empowerment. Stand in your power to embrace your true potential with confidence. That's the thing. Be confident. Be confident. You have so much to offer. Be authentic. Do what's best for you. You don't need to follow everybody else and stay, color within the lines that other people, decide for you. You get to make your own path. You get to make your own path. Yeah, confidence. Things are moving and you need to make a decision. Act with confidence and take risks. Again, that makes me think about earlier. Be bold and make the first move. Believe in the impossible. This is going to work out for you. Truly. So don't doubt yourself. It is going to work out for you. But you need to be authentic. Authenticity. Be yourself, pursue your passions, and show your authentic self. Don't pay attention to what others are thinking of you. That's the thing. You can't control what other people think of you. You can't. And so often, what they're thinking about you says more about them than it does you. It could be their internal mess getting triggered by you, and so they're projecting all of their negativity onto you. It's not even about you. It's about them, but they're not willing to see it. So don't get too caught up in other people. in the external that you cannot control. Don't get caught up in seeking that external validation and approval. It's nice, but it's much better to be, intrinsically motivated, intrinsically validated, and have that intrinsic approval, because you have so much to offer. You are empowered, you are confident. You got this. You've got this. Yeah. Refocus to find balance between your material and spiritual aspects of life. Stop putting too much emphasis on material things. And that's the thing. You don't need to worry too much about the here and now and the fact that it's not what you want it to look like in the end. You've got time. It's going to work out for you. Just reconnect with yourself. Get present, get mindful, and look around for ways to savor and be grateful for what you have right here and now, to enjoy the moment you're in, to stop and smell the roses. Because if you're constantly, pushing off everything until later, it's like, I'll take care of myself later, I'll be happy later, I'll have peace later, I just need to grind. No, enjoy the journey now, because before you know it, you'll blink and years and decades have gone by, and you'll wonder what you did with your life, Befriend yourself and enjoy it right now. You don't have to have it be that way, where it's so intense and such a hot mess. You don't always need to be looking ahead. Yeah. Radiate. Let your light shine through. Let your true colors shine brightly. Be authentic and genuine. Just be yourself. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The sun. Rise to the occasion. Again, the universe wants you to be confident and bold. You are empowered. You are resilient. You have everything going for you. You have luck on your side. You can do the impossible. So rise to the occasion. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hide in the corner. Don't play small. Don't, dim your light and, be afraid to breathe. You got this. You got this. Yeah. Self-care. Spoil yourself in the moonlight. Take care of yourself. Fill up your own cup. Do what brings you joy and peace and happiness and fun. Life's too short to always make yourself miserable. You have the free will. You get to choose what you do. You can choose to be miserable, or you can choose to enjoy the ride. Yeah, there are going to be things you don't like. So you don't need to beat yourself up if you don't like something, but you can look for the good. As Uncle Iroh says, if you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the dark, it's all you'll ever see. You have a choice for what you're looking for. You have a choice on what you're focusing on. And again, that's why the universe is telling you to refocus. You have the free will to choose what you're focusing on. Yeah, reevaluate. In the starlit sky, we still look for the falling stars. But there's so many stars around us. We can get blinded to what's right in front of us. So it's time to meditate, to contemplate, to reflect, to refocus, to get really mindful and intentional of what we're doing, where we're putting our time, energy, and attention, what we're believing. We got to decide and use our discernment if it's actually serving us or not. Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. That's the thing. You are having the path illuminated for you. The universe is lighting the way for you, and it's going to be so simple to follow through. But you got to reconnect. You got to be attuned. You can't be getting too caught up in the chaos and the noise of the external world. You got to get in touch with yourself. You got to be aligned. Yeah. Rainbow, the most difficult part of the situation is over. That's why the universe wants you to believe in the impossible. That's why the universe wants you to remember that luck is on your side. That's why the universe wants you to be bold and make the first move. The hardest part is over now. You've got this. You've got this. Yeah. Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. It's because of all the internal work you've been doing. It's because you've been having this internal foundation that is stable and strong and sturdy and is built upon peace. It's built upon calm. It's built upon clarity. It's built upon connecting with your authentic self and using your discernment to know what aligns with you and what does not. And it's going to help you get so successful. And again, luck is on your side, so you don't need to worry. Yes, unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. That's why you need to meditate and contemplate and reflect and get clear on what it is you want. Use your discernment. Tap into that intuition, because all these beautiful changes are happening for you. Truly. Bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. Like, the universe is bringing you these, like, I'm seeing like these huge money bags of just like blessings. And it's not necessarily literal money, but it could be wealth in the terms of health and the terms of peace and the terms of great, genuine, loving, healthy connections and relationships, in terms of having this beautiful new home, in terms of having maybe pets or children, like whatever it is, like you are going to be blessed with wealth in all sorts of ways. And it's because you are tuning into your true self. It's because you're using your discernment and your free will to create the story you want instead of the story you think that you're allowed to have because of other people. So don't worry, like it's all working out so beautifully for you. But yeah, like it's going to be a really good time for you guys if you can remember to reconnect to who you truly are and use your discernment and free will according to what it is you want to accomplish, being really intentional and mindful and purposeful in what you spend your time, energy, and attention on. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!